So what's new in the iPhone's iOS 16.2? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. If you followed me before, definitely check out my channel. I've done over 450 videos already, I think, on Apple stuff, but mostly I kind of concentrate on the Mac, like the iMac here or MacBooks and things like that. But I'm going to start doing a little bit more on the iPhone sitting right over here. So I want to go ahead and just show you guys, starting today, what's basically all the new features in iOS 16.2 on the iPhone. There's about like 18 or 17 or something like that. I don't know. There's a bunch of features I'm going to go through here. I'm going to go through them really quickly. And as you know, I actually use a Google Pixel phone as well sometimes, but I also do have an iPhone over here, so I use them both. So let's go ahead and find out what's new here in iOS 16.2. So number one is Apple's Freeform app, and what does that mean? So basically it says, starting with iOS 16.2, iPadOS 16.2, or Mac OS Ventura, there's this new Freeform app. It says multiple people can work at the same Freeform document, and all updates will be basically synced in real time. So it can be used for sketching projects, designing, things like that, mood boards, brainstorming ideas at work and stuff like that. So that's new, check that out, that's number one. All right, number two is Advanced Data Protection, new by Apple. Now what this is, it says expands end-to-end encryption to additional iCloud data categories. So it says Advanced Data Protection is opt-in only, and I'll get to that in a second. And it can be used to encrypt iCloud backups, message backups, iCloud Drive content, notes, photos, reminders, voice memos, Safari bookmarks, shortcuts, and wallet passes. All right, so with this update, it says almost all iCloud data is protected with the exception of mail, contacts, and calendar because those features are legacy. It also says Advanced Data Protection is opt-in only, and this is the kind of the caveat, is because Apple can't restore your data if you lose your password. So if you lose your password, you're blank out of luck, and there's not much you can do about it. So just keep that in mind, Advanced Data Protection. All right, number three is going to be Apple Music Sing. Are you going to use this feature? I don't know. It says designed as a karaoke feature in Apple Music. And what it does is Apple Sing provides real-time lyrics for iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV users, and they can sing along with. Features include adjustable vocals. You can adjust your vocals. You can change the volume of the original singer, real-time lyrics, and basically that move with the rhythm of the vocals, background vocal options, and a duet view for multiple singer tracks. So if you like karaoke, they now have Apple Music Sing is what they call it. It says Apple has introduced more than 50 playlists, that you can actually use to get started with, and I guess they're going to keep, offering more and more as time goes on. So if you're a karaoke fan, Apple Sing. The next one is going to be Stage Manager external display support. So you can actually now have external display support for Stage Manager. Pretty simple. It says that it was actually removed before, but with 16.2, it's going to bring it back so you can be used with external displays once again. So if you use Stage Manager and you need external displays, this is going to be a great option. It says with external display support, Stage Manager supports up to 8 apps for multitasking purposes rather than 4 from before. This functionality is limited to just the M1 and the M2 Max, though. Just keep that in mind. So the next one is going to be disable wallpaper and notifications for the always on display. So if you have an always on display and you use it with your phone, you basically, sometimes you can get annoyed because obviously you have the wallpaper notifications that keep popping up on there, but you can go ahead and quiet those so you can actually remove those or disable them. And then it's only going to show, like it says, the time, it says widgets and stuff like that you've enabled besides those two things. So if you want a cleaner always on screen, this is the way to go. I'll show you kind of a screenshot of there. I already have not, and it just shows you where you can disable it. But it's pretty easy to do. There's now a button there that disables it. All right, the next one is going to be on AirDrop. So now what Apple's done, they've actually made it so it's contacts only for AirDrop, but they do have a caveat or a change you can make so that you can have it open to everybody. But now there's actually a screen you have to go to, and you basically have contacts only checked. Now if you want to have it open to everybody, AirDrop, you can go ahead and there's like a setting in there that says everyone for 10 minutes. So it'll open it up to everyone for 10 minutes and then it closes it back up. So you have to go ahead into this setting here, click that, and now that's going to allow everyone to be able to AirDrop. And the reason for that, I think, is because obviously it's for security reasons. They don't want you to leave it open for everyone. They want it to be just for a specific time period. So this is new iOS 16.2. All right, another addition to 16.2. This is a small one. It's on the lock screen. It added a sleep widget, so you can go ahead and enable a sleep widget. It says that it basically uses the data in the Health app and collected by the Apple Watch or other sleep tracking devices. And so it provides information such as the time you've slept, the quality of sleep and things like that, different variables of your sleep, and that can actually be on the lock screen now, and that's going to be a widget that you can set up, so that's brand new as well. So the next one's not going to affect me that much because I don't use a lot of this stuff, but it says new home app architecture is available now. So it says paired with HomePad 16.2 software, iOS 16.2, iPad OS 16.2, and Mac OS Ventura. Add support for an updated home app architecture. Now what does that mean? Basically it says, Apple says that the new home app architecture brings faster, more reliable performance to homes and many smart accessories. So if you use that a lot, that might be helpful. It says, but also requires every device that you have be access to the newest software. And that basically means iOS 16.2, iPad OS 16.2, Mac Ventura 13.1, tvOS 16.2, and watchOS 9.2. So it's a mouthful. You need everything updated for this to work, but then you get that increased performance and kind of better workflow with any of your home app architecture. All right, another widget, brand new widget in 16.2 is going to be the lock screen medication widget. So basically, you guessed it, what it does is it reminds you of kind of a single dose of medication, or it can remind you of when you need to take all your medication, or it can remind you when you're done for the day with your medication. It's a very simple widget. You can go on the lock screen. But if you take medication, this is actually a pretty good widget because, obviously, even if you take things like blood pressure pills and stuff, it's easy to forget. So this is going to be a widget that will help you out. All right, the next change is in Game Center. It says basically Game Center now supports SharePlay, allowing iPhone and iPad users to play games with friends and family on a FaceTime call. So if that affects you, it's a very small change, but it might be something you're going to use. Another new feature is going to be in message search. So if you search your messages and things like that, Apple's created a new system where Apple has improved search for the messages for finding photos based on content, maybe like a pet, one of your good pets or something like that, a car, a person, or text. So it's got advanced search capabilities built into messaging. All right, so the next one, again, may not affect everybody. It's just nice to know it's available. It says TV app live sports scores. So what does that mean? In iOS 16.2, it re-adds live activity integration for select sports games. So with the built-in TV app on the iPhone. So it says basically games can be tracked in real time on the lock screen or the dynamic island on the iPhone 14 models. So if you're looking to track real-time sports on the lock screen, let's say you're following a specific sports like the World Cup or something, you can do it now, and that's re-added in 16.2. All right, for all the people in India watching, I know this is not going to affect a lot of the American people, but it says now 5G has been added for India on the iPhone, so with this new update. So if you're in India and you can use 5G networks, this is probably a big change for you. All right, the next change is going to be Weather App News. So basically, the Weather app now integrates with Apple News, displaying relevant, basically weather-related news information based on your region. So now it's kind of integrated in the news so that you're going to get specific weather-related information about your region or where you actually live, not just around the United States, which is kind of nice. Some people like it, some people don't, but just a good addition, I guess, if you're looking out for bad weather. All right, so the next one is going to be live activities in the TV app. And what does that mean? So it says there's an option to get more frequent live activity from the TV app for following sports games. More frequent updates can result in a lot worse battery life, so you got to watch out for that. But I'll show you some settings in here. You can go ahead and click it to be more frequent updates on your iPhone, and then it's going to provide you more updates on games and things like that you want to know a little bit more about. So the next one is going to be Siri silent responses, and what does that mean? So basically, in the accessibility section of the settings app, there's an option to set Siri to prefer silent responses now, and that basically says Siri will confirm requests on the device, directly on the device rather than doing it out loud, so it's going to be silent requests there. All right, so the next one's going to be ProMotion lag fix, and this may affect a little bit more people. So it says on devices that support ProMotion, Apple says that Swift UI animated layout changes will support 120 hertz refresh rates finally, so you're not going to get kind of that lag that you used to get. So kind of a lag fix, performance fix added to 16.2. All right, it actually has one more thing. It does say that it'll also maybe affect or actually fix the issues on the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 14. So those devices can experience lagging and stuttering system animations when closing and switching between apps. So this is actually going to fix that as well. So try it, check it out, post in the comments if it helped. All right, so the next one is going to be about AirTag alerts, and we've all heard the horror stories and the bad press with AirTags lately, people following people and stuff. This is going to be one fix to kind of help with some of that stuff. It says basically AirTag alerts. On the iPad, tracking notifications are now available to let users know if an AirTag separated from its owner is nearby and has recently played a chime to indicate that it is moving. So basically it's going to give you certain alerts to know if you've lost it, if it's nearby, if it's actually moving. So it's going to give you some more ideas of where those things are and where they end up. All right, another fix is the crash detection optimizations. And if you've seen in the news too, a lot of people were going into roller coasters or things with high Gs, high G forces, where they weren't actually in crashes, and it was notifying an SOS to go out and have, people come in and see if they're injured or not. Well, this actually tries to address that. We'll see how it works, but it's basically called crash detection optimizations, introduced here in 16.2, and it's going to make it a lot better for those, basically tracking roller coasters versus a car crash. Obviously, there's a lot of difference, I think, in G's there as well. Crashes are usually a lot worse, so they're kind of figuring out how to do all this. So stay tuned to see how it actually works, but that's actually a good change. Another thing that Apple had problems with was basically unintentional SOS calls. So it says Apple is collecting data on accidental SOS calls right now, and they're working on a plan. So this new update is now taking that data whenever it's an accidental SOS call, and they're learning from it, and they should have a fix for that fairly soon. All right, the next one's going to be battery status shortcut. And what does this mean? It means there's a new battery status shortcut available that provides information about the iPhone's battery and any charger that's connected to it. So a little bit of helpful information about your battery and also the charger. All right, another one is going to be basically turn off and hide your IP address. There's a new iCloud private relay setting to disable it temporarily for a specific Safari site. So if you want to disable your IP for that, you basically can look for turn off or hide your IP address, and that should do it. All right, the last one's going to be kind of a negative one here. So it says TV app updates. What they did in the TV is they've actually added these kind of 3 large ads right above the next interface. Let's say you're watching a show and you want to click next. Now they got 3 different things on like what they're recommending to you actually to watch. And it kind of distracts from you actually being able to watch the next episode. It kind of makes it a lot more difficult to click next on that. So it's just these giant ads that they've actually done. So it's kind of a redesign of the TV app. And I don't know if everyone likes it. This is new for 16.2. It's probably just trying to do more advertising and get a little bit more money out of people that way. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like it. All right, that should be it. So those are, I don't know how many we went through there, but those are a bunch of different changes. Those are most of the changes that I know about. If you guys know of more changes, definitely post them in the comments and I can add them, or I can do another video like this. So just wanted to let people know kind of what's available. What are these changes coming to iOS 16.2? They change so often. Obviously, it's hard to keep up with, but these are just some of them. So keep an eye for these. Obviously, if any of them make sense to you or you want to use them, check them out. You can do a lot more searches just online, and it's going to give you more information. So we'll talk to everybody soon. Talk to you in about maybe 2 or 3 days. We'll have another video. So check out my channel too. Over 450 Apple videos. Peace.